Welcome back to Wand of Gamelon. Now, in the last part, we got a couple of items that we were asked to collect. We're going to quickly head back to Hanyu Forest to give the Arpagos feather. And then after that, we have to go back through the goddamn swamp again in order to give the Hanyu spore.
Oh, right.
Great.
To the guy who thinks we're puny. I don't know if we really want to deal with him.
But he did support Zelda.
Despite her pune factor.
I'm being very careful.
Greetings, Princess Zelda. Do you have any Arpagos feathers? Good. Make a cake from your shroud. Here, I must be off.
The way she walked on screen. You bet I got that fucking feather, girl.
Oh, you mean this feather? Oh my god.
Guess how much trouble I had.
None.
Some?
In fact, you got through this so easily that the game came out of your computer and proposed. Oh, that's not... They did okay.
You're back. Now give me your glove. Hey!
Fucking dick.
A power glove. Great.
Again, right out of the fire.
This clock's right then and there.
Just he takes off her glove and throws it in the fire without a word.
But now that we have the glove, we can go to Taikogi Tower. The boss here can only be hurt by the power glove.
Oh my! It looks like everyone's been taken to Taikogi Tower.
This is illegal, you know. My cakes will burn.
Yo, you got it.
Yep.
Everybody.
Who the fuck is illegal guy? It's like, oh man, it's illegal to be here.
I think that was like the mayor or the lord of Sakado.
I believe so, and I think the context, you know, these cutscenes never change backgrounds. The context is that those two have been kidnapped and are currently in the tower. They aren't just
Right.
out here hanging out.
Yeah.
I got that part. That's illegal. That's all he had to say.
Hurry. It's awful. Mayor Cavendish has been
The mayor,
killed
yeah.
in the tower. Oh, my cakes. Come see me in Sakado.
Oh my ass!
So he hit a wall.
Now for those hands, you can just attack them slowly with a sword, but actually they blow up really nicely with bombs.
Ooh. Nice.
And also the power glove flashes the screen, and I don't like that. But the bombs have a blast radius,
Oh, wow.
so that's pretty satisfying.
Yeah. You could do a fist bump or use a bomb.
A fist bump.
Try it in conversation, kids.
You dare defy me? You will die.
Guess again, Iron Knuckle.
Hell yeah.
I think we talked about this. This Zelda is surprisingly badass. She's ready to throw down always.
Wow.
Bonk.
He's dead. Let's get out of here.
We're not getting paid for this.
And remember, this guy can only be hurt by the power glove.
Help me. I can't stop grooving.
Oh, the indignity. Please, Your Highness, would you kindly cut the chains that bind me?
He's efficient.
Ouch! Thank you, Princess. I managed to conceal this magic lantern. I hope it can be of use.
The animation is so ridiculous, but also there are good ideas in there. An interesting, like, characterization by movement. It just looks so cheap and weird.
I'm sure if the studio had less than 5 microseconds to animate the entire game, it would have looked kind of alright for the time.
Yeah, they just had to sneeze. They had nothing but allergies as budget.
Thinking about it, this might have been an area that I could use the flute to freeze these things. They're flying dragon heads. But the flute and the bell in Faces of Evil, when you use them, they freeze flying enemies. You might be able to use the flute here for that. I'd forgotten about that, so I'm trying to brute force this. It didn't work out. We're gonna come back later.
They're fast as shit. Good God.
Yep.
Man, they really need to take care of this shit in Staccato. A lot of people live here.
Your friend Link could eat 10 of these.
At least.
Ha! The Arpagos will die for them.
That is a hint. If you remember the Arpagos Tower that I was in, where we got the egg,
Yeah.
you can actually throw that loaf onto the ground, and all the Arpagos in the area will flock to it and stay there, so they'll keep out of your way.
His character's expressions made me think that like she was secretly malicious at first or something.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially that eye thing in the beginning, like a thing that you would see when a character's eyes go like manic or like hypnotic.
Nah, the characters in this game are just deranged.
Kinda, yeah.
This is my kingdom and I like it that way.
But she gave us a magic cloak, which is super necessary because, like Faces of Evil, this is a super fatal game. You're gonna die so many times. The magic cloak trivializes so much. For the cost of only 10 rupees, you are invincible for 10 seconds.
10 rupees?
Yep.
Nice. Kind of actually reminds me of like the Ruby consumable items in like Wind Waker, where like you have the magic stone. Where
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, you're invincible for, and the power suit in Twilight Princess.
Yeah, the magic armor.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just saying, Nintendo, you kind of owe Philips CDI here a check.
Oh, they got the check. The check is the CDI games.
Let's see. That ought to do it. Works pretty good.
I love in both games when you upgrade the sword so that you can always shoot beams. The person tests it and makes an explosion.
Another flex.
The Flexsmith, yeah.
And now that we have the magic cloak, we can head up the Shrine of Gamelon.
Oh, this freak.
You might be able to brute force this
Oh,
one,
dear.
but it would be really hard without the
Guarding
cloak.
shrine.
Whatever I see, I shall devour.
Oh, a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
You're very positive about this.
No, I just thought it was a neat idea. I'm like, it's like a dog person and a lion. Oh, shapeshifter. Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
And he turns into lips.
Yeah, like a mimic.
And this is why you need the magic cloak. There are so many of these rolling fireballs. And also, heads with wings. It's very hard to get through here without taking a ton of damage. The boss is actually kind of invincible.
My God, his head is huge.
There's only one state where he's vulnerable, and it's when he's the mouth.
Got him.
Oh, that was so sudden. I wasn't ready for it.
Then he fucking explodes.
It's just one frame of a mouth and then just like the most stock explosion sound effect.
And that's to show that he does also transform into the lion, but I don't think he's vulnerable there.
Gotta say, I think this is the better game. I'm kind of having more fun with this one.
It is more fun, though, isn't it?
I'm kind of digging it, yeah.
Like, Zelda's a lot cuter and a lot more likable than Link, who's just annoying.
Look how your father was captured.
You are my prisoner.
Hey!
Silence! Hectan, keep the runt in chains.
Wait a fucking minute.
Yes, master.
Hecton's animation is just wild.
Look how they captured your father! They showed a completely different guy.
Right?
I thought Zelda was gonna be like, that's not my dad.
I've never met this man before.
That's a musketeer.
God damn it, I do that every time.
I think it's one of the king's retainers, but also, you're right, they never show the king.
Yeah. No, fuck this, magic cloak.
My God, there's so much here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
That's progress, but this thing can die. Okay, we can go now.
That hand really pissed her off.
I had some bloodlust I needed to get out. There's no life in here to take.
And it was made of stone, so I don't feel bad about it.
I mean, I wouldn't have felt bad about it if it was made of flesh, but...
And there's Hecton. Let's just jab him a bit. Or just bomb him, I guess.
You killed me!
Good.
Well, I know that one. That's a classic.
Everyone knows it is classic.
And that's the last heart upgrade.
Oh, hi, Dad.
Duke Onklet betrayed the king!
I know.
Strike the head of the portrait to enter Onklet's chamber.
Thanks.
I think I only saw your face for about 2 seconds.
I know. Like, I got it.
You're useless.
And the king is... Oh.
Yeah, I mean, there's been no hints to that being a thing. Not that this game has a lot of story anyway, but Zelda's just like, I know the plot. Don't worry, I've read the manual. The insurrection manual.
Now, anyone watching who knows, please correct me, please fill me in, because I am extremely lost in regards to this room. Maybe it was something that was changed in the remake, because we haven't mentioned it. I am playing Dopply's remake of the games, not the originals. But there's a key to this room which has nothing in it. And I don't think it ever does. So please tell me if I'm missing something. I feel like I am.
I don't see anywhere where there could be anything.
It's not progress. This way is. Oh god, the geometry is weird here.
Oh. That one Moblin's house did just have one Moblin and nothing else in it.
Yeah, it's more than nothing.
Dodge that. So what we need to do is attack this portrait. That gets us the key.
Oh, wow.
Don't hurt me, Zelda. I'll tell you the secret way into Resong Palace.
You better talk fast.
Go
Oh,
all
shit.
the way left and move the
She's so
rock.
fucking cool,
This
right?
key opens the gate. I'll make sure he doesn't get away.
That was Duke Gauntlet.
I got it. Duke Ellington or whatever your name is.
Duke of Hazard.
I actually kind of like Zelda here. It's pretty cool.
She doesn't take any shit.
Yeah.
It's a goddamn shame that this is still somehow like her most prominent active role.
Right?
I'm going to ask the most loaded question I can.
Oh boy.
Wand of Gamelon Zelda or Twilight Princess Zelda?
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? This one's much better. This one does shit.
Does all the shit, if you will.
Twilight Princess Zelda was definitely in the game to collect a paycheck, and that's about it.
So basically you prompt us with, I'm gonna ask a loaded question, and then you ask a question that didn't finish loading.
What do you guys think? This brand new Toyota Camry or this dog turd with sprinkles on it?
Around Ganon, but only
God
the
damn, I didn't know the
one can
animosity
defeat him.
ran that
Good
deep.
luck.
Look at her, she's so cute.
Yeah.
She has such sweet, content faces whenever she gets something new.
Yeah.
Hey girls, fill me up, please.
Thank you, Saucy Fairies. Keep at it. Do your best.
I mean, since you asked nicely, Zelda. Sheesh.
I know Halloween was a while ago, but you're still at it. That's cool.
Yeah, man, I every Halloween I go a humping to every ground I can find.
Okay, and next time we'll go to Resong Palace. Wand of Gamelon is about the same length of Faces of Evil. It might even be even shorter. Just in sheer minutes. This LP is definitely shorter. It's the same amount of parts, but I had to find reasons and excuses to extend the length of part 3.
There wasn't a cool mini game or anything Zelda could do in the meantime.
Are you going to play through the whole game as the king, just real fast in part 3?
Well, I figured, depending on the situation, There are probably people who will want to watch this LP independent of Faces of Evil. Like, there might be people specifically looking for Wand of Gamelon. So I'm going to show everything in Wand of Gamelon that's also carried over from Faces of Evil. This stuff that Dopply added, like Hero Mode. But also, when you beat the game on Hero Mode, you unlock a new character, and when you
Yeah.
beat the final boss with him, you unlock something else. So we did see all of that in Faces of Evil, but I'm going to show it off again here just in case, just to cover every base.
It's weird because it's like now I have like a bit of a weird appreciation for these games.
Right.
Like years after the fact. Of course, we live in a post-meme, RZ world where now we can look back on this and be like, it was definitely a different time. These games are still awful because we're also getting a nice, like, fan community-driven redo.
Yeah.
As opposed to playing it officially what it was like back in the day, which would have been absolute travesty.
Yet the benefit of Dopply's remakes is he cleaned up a lot of the bullshit that made them unplayable. So we can actually enjoy the good ideas buried in here.
Yeah, back in the day with the CDI, when playing this game at a quarter of the speed that Mikaela's playing it at, with a spoon, with no infinite continues.
I genuinely wonder if there's anybody out there who happens to be old enough to have owned a Philips CDI and you were waiting for the next Nintendo console. Were there, like, Sega fanboys being like, hey, great Zelda game there, they said in tears because the next few years were going to be awful for them?
I've mentioned before, I hope that anyone who donated towards LPing these games isn't disappointed that these are the versions I'm playing. But the benefit of it is I actually enjoyed and came around to appreciating them. In fact, you mentioned RZ. We are going to be Let's Playing RZ after this.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know about it, Dopply, who did these remasters, he and a whole crew, I think one or two of the people who worked on the remasters too, but a whole game crew, they made an original game that's like a CDI Zelda send-up that refers back to it, but actually stands up really well as its own game. It takes the good ideas and the fun silliness of CDI Zelda and puts it in an actually good action platformer. And I've been talking about how much I like Zelda in this game. RZ is basically this Zelda, but a rounded character with like reasonable flaws in personality and made her an actually really good comedic straight woman.
Yeah.
It is actually a really fun and funny, like intentionally funny game.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm more curious about it since the reception to that game has been very positive.
I think it's only like $20.
Yep, it's $20.
Yeah, well, I'll give it a try. After this, like, honestly, like, I know we're still talking about a CDI game, but, like, no, I actually legitimately like this Zelda.
Yeah. RZ is kind of like a logical extension of this Zelda.
Yeah, it's like if you take a normal-ass person and plop them in a world of MS Paint monstrosities.
Yeah.
That makes it sound like she's a green-screened human.
Steve from Blue's Clues is in Zelda.
Well, she did get that green screen cloak, so,
That's right. We'll talk more about RZ when we get there. It has its own issues, but it is genuinely fun. I'm looking forward to that LP.
Yeah, I've been playing it too. It's great.
But for now, just one more part for Wand of Gamelon, and then we're done with the 2 CDI Zeldas that we will actually LP. Right now, I have no plans or intentions to touch Zelda's adventure. That's its own form of bad.